Hello everyone, welcome to My English, My Life, an online program for class 6 to class 12. Today on that we are going to talk about one of the best poems I love to teach, and one of my famous and lovable poem which was written by one of the best American poets, Robert Frost. Most of his poems are very familiar. Those are related to human life and human conditions and their perceptions at the same time, and total the life of human beings and their relationship has been clearly written by the great writer, American poet Robert Frost. We know many poems of our Robert Frost, for example, Bridges, Mending Walls. Our former the first Prime Minister of our India, Jawaharlal Nehru, on his table we can find a paper, which was written by the words which was written by Robert Frost were written on his table from the poem of Mending Walls. Good fences make good neighbors. So that was a line which was written by our former Prime Minister, first Prime Minister of India, and Jawaharlal Nehru. You can imagine that how Robert Frost influenced the politicians and human people and writers and educationalists and students because of his lines. With those are very wonderful and fantastic lines. So today we are going to talk about one of his best poems, that is stopping by woods on a snowy evening. So before going to the poem, let me discuss about the themes which are related to this poem. In this poem we can find only 4 stanzas, simple poem, at the same time simple with more informative. And 4 stanzas contains iambic tetrameter, and 4 stanzas are lyrically rhythmic. So those are very wonderful lines, simple lines. Everyone can understand his poems because he was very familiar to make the people to understand his poems with his simple and very simple words for beginners. So in that, today we are going to talk about the word and the theme. Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening, related to the theme is one is nature, and the last lines contains the human promises. So when we are going on a way, so how to pursue and how to achieve something when we dreamt something. So till reaching that we should not stop. So that was the lines which was given by Robert Frost. Let's read and understand. Whose words these are, I think I know. His house is in the village tall. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So here our speaker, we can imagine that, for example, Robert Frost, our speaker was moving on the horse and he was in the forest and he was stopped by the woods. And we can see the woods in trees, a beautiful snowy evening, and you can see the picture. So the total woods, the trees were covered with snow, and very beautiful scenery and nature. So the speaker has been stopped there and he looking at the nature, and he was dreaming something, and he was wonderful at nature, and he was stopping there and he was thinking that how beautiful nature it is. At the same time he looked at a house. He know that who belongs to it. So the person who belongs to the farm or the trees, he knows him very well. He belongs to village. His house is in the village. So he don't know whether we are stopping here, we are staying here, and we are looking at this wood. So he doesn't know that what we are doing here. So it is very good to us to stand here to enjoy the beautiness of the nature in the dark evening. And it was a beautiful nature with the snow covered trees, and it is very pleasant to look at the beautiness of creation of God. So our speaker is stopped there and looking at the beautiness. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. So in that evening he stopped there, and at the time he was thinking that his horse made a noise. His horse made a queer sound, means the sound which was made by horse, it was made a sound, and he is saying that he was stopped near, not exactly the place of the farmhouse. He just far from the farmhouse, and he is looking at the farmhouse and the woods near the farmhouse, and he was enjoying that nearby the lake, the frozen lake. So he was looking at that. He was not going near to that place. He was not moving towards the farm. Just he was stopped there on the bridge, and he is looking at the beautiness of woods and the farmhouse. At the time, he heard a sound, the quiet sound from his heart. So it made something. Why it made a noise? Let us read and understand. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound, the sweep of easy wind and drowny flake. So at the time, the bell, what he hung for that horse was made sound. So the horse is making sound, that remembering something to our speaker. So it is the horse is making sound, my dear owner. It is not the place to stop here. And in that snowy evening, when he was fully beautified with the nature, he was fully fully in a dream to observe the nature of beautiness of the nature. And at the time, he heard a noise from the hearts and saying that he done some mistake. He was committing some mistake. What the mistake? Maybe it is far, because he is not near to the farmhouse. He was stopping too far from the farmhouse, and he is looking at the farmhouse. Maybe the horse is saying that go near and look at the farmhouse. Maybe he thought like that. But what the intention of horse in making the bell sound means, here we can understand the first theme of the poem, that is beautiness of the nature. And second theme, we are going to know that by the last stranger. Let's read. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So the bell sound, remember the speaker that it is not the place to stop. It is not the place to take rest. It is not the place to end up your journey. We have a big journey that we have to fulfill that. So my dear owner, my dear, this is not the correct place to take rest and miles to go before I sleep. He's saying that I have more journey to go on, and because I have promised something in my life. For example, you have decided something to do in your life. So in reaching your goal, in reaching your aim, in reaching your destination, in the middle we'll have many temptations, many hurdles, many hardships, many problems, many navigations which will tempt us to commit to go away from our destiny. Same thing here, our speaker looking at the beautiness of the nature, and he forgotten about the journey what he committed in the beginning. But the bell sound of the horse remembered him that he has a journey to go on. So before going to sleep, before going to end up his life, he has to move on, and miles to go before I sleep. Before ending my life, I have to go on, because I have dreamt something. To reach my goal, I have to go on. So here, my dear children who are watching this video, we thought many things in our life. We dreamt many things. We decided to do something. We have many aims and destinations. So in reaching that, in the middle, we'll have many problems from parents, from friends, navigations, attractions, temptations, love, and other navigation. Many things will tempt us to go away from our destinies. So at the time, we should remember that someone will come to our mind to encourage you, to warn you that it is not the place to stop your life. So same thing here, Robert Frost has been stopped in the middle, but his horse made him to go for his journey to fulfill his dreams. So here, maybe you have some dreams in your life. So in reaching the dreams, you will stop in the middle. So don't stop in the middle. If any problem occurs, if you dream something, if you kept anything as your target, so till reaching it, never and never stop your journey by seeing any temptations or any problems, any hurdles. So never and never stop it, because when you go on moving towards your destiny, nothing can stop if you have strong confidence. In the beginning of my videos, you can check it that to reach success, self-confidence is important, emotional balance is important, and strong desire is very, very important. So maintain all these things. Don't tempt to any other persons. Don't read away from your destiny. Keep on moving till reaching your success. As like Robert Frost said, and miles to go before I sleep, because I have promises. I have many promises to keep. So and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So he said something that He wanted to go on till reaching his life. So same, we have to do something in our life before going to death. So do something. I want to remember one quotation for you here. Please keep in your mind. If you want to exist after your exit, do something when you exist. Means if you want to live here after your death, you have to achieve something in your life. When you achieve something in your life, then everybody will remember you. You can remember many leaders, APJ Abdul Kalam, Ambedkar, Jawaharlal Nehru, many persons, even they died, Mother Teresa. So they passed away. They are not with us, but their works, their dedication, their dreams, whatever they decided, they done, everything is with us. So that was the plans, that was the promises they got, and they move and they completed. So we have to complete our promises before going to end up our life. So don't go for any other navigations. Go on concentrating on your things and achieve success in your life. Hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you. Have a great day. Meet you in the next class. Until then, bye bye.